the Girsan 2311 Brat. Let's check it out. Girsan has made a big reputation for making good quality firearms. A lot of them are clones of original designs, whether it's the high power, the Beretta 92, and the Cheetah series, their 1911s. There's a number of different guns they're bringing in at really affordable prices. Now they're going to the other end of the spectrum with the Witness 2311. This is a double stack 1911 in the 2011 style with that polymer grip and of course steel slide aluminum frame. It brings the 1911 back up to modern standards. Obviously, the 1911 served the U.S. military for over 85 years, but the big deficit was its round capacity. And now with the 2011s, we're getting a double-stack, full-capacity handgun, and yet with all the 1911 controls. Girsan has a number of models of the 2311 series, but today we're going to take a look at the Brat. This is definitely something different. It has a 17+1 mag capacity, it has a full-size grip, and yet a very short 3.4-inch barreled slide. And this is honestly similar to an officer's model. But with the leverage of the grip, this thing shoots extremely well. And they're very reliable. But the big deal is the price. And while STI and Staccato made the 2011 unobtainable for most gun enthusiasts, we've seen a number of different 2011s that have come in for better prices, but nothing so far beats the Girsan. Now we want to give a big thank you to EAA Corporation who imports Girsan into the US. And they sent the Witness 2311 9C Brat for this review. We're going to look at some pros and cons and we're going to do some comparisons. But if you really want to get into the 2011 world and yet you just haven't been able to afford it, this is something to take a look at. Guys, Girsan has put out a number of different models of the 2311, and this is the Witness 2311 9C, and the C, of course, is for compact. These are imported by the EAA Corporation. Girsan is based out of Turkey. So we're finding some really, actually good quality guns that are coming out of Turkey for less price. And they're starting to really gain a big reputation. And I think Canik was the one that really kind of started the ball rolling, and now we're seeing a lot of companies that really kind of have their act together, to be honest. And the price is a big deal on this one. We'll get into that because most of the 2011 pistols are running $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. And the Girsan's coming in, and you're not going to believe it, but it's $679. I've seen a number of sub 1,000 2011 style pistols, but this is definitely the lowest I've seen. So first thing let's do is drop our 17+1 magazine, 9mm, Checkmate mag, nice stainless body, and then we'll check the chamber and the gun is empty. And you get 2 magazines with the gun. I think this is your standard 2011 style magazine pattern. There's a nice large mag well. It's aluminum and this is removable, so you can take this off if you don't want this at the bottom, but it sure does give you a large well to be able to throw that mag in. Also, we have some cutouts on the side, so if we have a malfunction and we need to strip the mag, we can do that as well. Now this is the polymer grip, and it has a aluminum receiver or frame, and then we have a steel slide and of course barrel. And of course all the other parts are typically steel as well. But this comes in 9mm, we have 17+1, it comes in 45, and that's 11+1. Now, my first experience with the Witness 2311 was their 4¼ inch barrel. Of course, very similar to your Commander length. Performed flawlessly. It's a great shooting gun. Front and rear cocking serrations. The grip's full and large, and I'll tell you, at the range, we really had a great experience. I mean, it just shot very well. This one did come red dot ready with a Dury red dot sight on it that was installed when I got it. While it took off the rear sight, it has sights built in, so it still gives you that backup sight to it. And then we got one of the 10mm, and of course there was a lot more power to that one, and you know, we did a review. It was very reliable as well. It's one of the things that I've found from Girsan is they're typically very reliable. The fit and finish is really good. It's been a great option, especially toward the budget end. But with the Brat, it's not optics ready. There's no RMR cuts. We do have a Novak style sight on the back, and we have a dovetailed front sight, and it's 3-dot, and they're excellent sights. And then the slide, of course, is all steel, and it has a very nice finish to it. Rear cocking serrations, but no front cocking serrations. And so I've really found that you know, these are very grippable, which, you know, is typical, but they're wide, so it makes it really easy to grab hold of. We have a 4-slot Picatinny rail. We were doing some testing with the new Phoenix weapons light, and more will come of that, but I just wanted to get some daylight shooting, and this made a great host, and I wanted to see how it would function. Sometimes when you're adding lights and lasers, or you're adding red dots, it changes the recoil impulse. It adds a little weight, either to the slide or to the frame, so I really like to add those when I can. We have ambidextrous safeties, and they're extended, they're nice. One thing about this handgun in particular, a lot of times you have the extended safeties, frame safety, and you rest your thumb on it, and it will get you right here. It just seems to wear on your hand. With the Brat, I felt like that it gave me a very comfortable grip to it, and this just helps to mitigate the recoil. And then when I wrap my hand around it and get that full thumbs forward grip, with this length, it makes a huge difference. And with this shorter slide, which is less mass coming back in your hand, again, it's just a very soft and flat shooting firearm. And it does give you that full grip of the 2011. Now, personally, I've loved the 1911 for a long time. I still do. I love to shoot it. I love the balance. But again, it is a less round capacity, and this just gives me a little more confidence. Which mag release jettisons the mags out, which is nice. The texturing on the grip is very well done on the back strap, on the mainspring housing, and on the side panels. And then you have your G for Girsan, has the diamond pattern, which was a traditional Colt design on your 1911s. But the grip's really solid, and of course it gives you a full grip in your hand. Then we have the grip safety, a very high ride beaver tail, sweeps up, and then you have your memory notch to be able to depress it. And then we have a skeletonized hammer. Now, one thing about the grip safety is that it is a passive safety, and it's an old holdback from the original 1911, which was required by the US government. So unless the grip safety is deployed, there's no action to the trigger. But for most shooters, it's been the standard for any kind of 1911 design. Not only does it keep you from getting hammer bite or slide bite, it also takes the surface and the recoil across the web of your hand, and it just gives you more surface, and it really does make a huge difference. I've shot a lot of 1911s with just the original little kind of a nub right here. You put a beaver tail on it, and it's a world of difference. And this has really become, you know, the industry norm is to have that beaver tail, but this one really sweeps up. Now with the bull barrel, it is fit to the slide. You can see how it's thick, and then again we have our recoil spring and guide rod, which is a full length guide rod. I like that because it actually aids in making this even more smooth, whether it's racking the slide or firing the pistol. There are a lot of dynamics that go into recoil management, and definitely that's one of the things I really like to add. Safety's very positive. It's just a good solid safety. And then if I want to bring it down, it has a nice click to it. Trigger skeletonized, it is polymer. One of the things about a 1911 is the straight pullback with the single action, so it makes it a really nice trigger pull. So here we have a little bit of take up, hit a wall, a nice break. Now, this is not a super crisp break like on a lot of 1911s. It's not bad, it's better than most of your polymer striker fire triggers. But it's one of the things When you're really spending a lot of money on a 1911, typically the trigger is very well tuned. Reset, right there. Reset's really fast. We're going to check the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 6 pounds, 2.2 ounces. 5 pounds, 14.1 ounces. So we're looking at right about 6 pounds. And so while this is a great entry budget 2011 style or double stack 1911, it does have a few downsides, and that's just going to be part of the price. One of the things about a 2011 or even a 1911 is it takes a lot more hand fitting, barrel to slide, slide to frame. I mean, to make a really high quality 1911. It's the reason why the prices are as high as they are. With the Girsan, and we're just going to pull back on the slide. I mean, it's nice. It's not bad. A little bit, I can feel a little bit of binding with the springs. But overall, again, this has been extremely reliable and accurate. And so if you want the refinements, then you're going to have to spend more money. But if you just want something that is really a solid performer, then this could be a great option. It's like the Bull Armory, and this is the ultralight. I've just reviewed this handgun. It has a little bit of a shorter, more compact grip, but it still holds 16+1 in the magazine. Slide coming back, it's empty. It's just super smooth. And that's because there's been a lot of hand fitting that has gone into this. The price, though, reflects that, and we're looking at more of $1,750. Again, with the Girsan, we're looking at $679 retail. It's really difficult to expect the refinement that you're going to get with a more expensive 2011 style or double stack 1911, but you're getting what you're paying for, but yet this is still a very solid handgun. And really, for a third of the price. Now this is still a 2011 or a 1911 style handgun, so this can be upgraded with the trigger job and other things. And this one of the things that Cossaint Arms actually specializes in is the Girsan Witness 2311s. They do a number of different services, and the owner of Cossaint actually worked for Staccato. So just on his own, they produce some really nice 2011 style pistols. But if you get your Witness and you want a new trigger job, or you want the action smoothed up or whatever, this gives you a great resource. And weight on the Girsan Brat, 29.37 ounces. And guys, we have just revamped our website at suitsgear.com. There's a lot of different suit swag over there, patches, t-shirts, but there's also a lot of my favorite products are there. We also have the Suits deals where we find all kind of deals and offer those to you guys at some of the best prices. Another thing that we do is a lot of the videos that were taken down by YouTube, which we call our contraband or banned videos, and all that's over on suitsgear.com, so check it out. Give a big thank you to Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA, one of the biggest suppliers of ammunition in the country. One thing about the Lula loaders, we tended to pop back on this. I don't know if it's because of this wide body, but I love my Lula loaders, but we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, which I enjoy. I like this. Well, we have the EAA Witness, and this is their 2311 series. This is the Brat. It has a short barrel with a full-length grip, 17+1. But similar to the G19X, this has that full grip, short slide. You've got a short recoil system coming back. It's very soft shooting. And you have that 2011 style pistol. So that polymer grip, which kind of absorbs some of the recoil. Very controllable, and putting your thumb on that safety forms kind of a ledge just to rest your thumb, so it makes it really soft shooting. But EAA has been putting out some really nice, those 2311s, for the price, I mean, it's just really a great way to get into a 2011 because they're typically very expensive. And no malfunctions whatsoever. It's just been a really good shooter. And again, that longer grip, it definitely mitigates a lot of the recoil, gives you a lot of control over the firearm. Now as far as disassembly, drop your magazine, check to make sure the gun is unloaded. Now you see this little notch? We're going to put it right toward the slide stop, so we're just going to bring it back. Here on the other side we have the takedown lever, and so you're just going to push that through. Now because the 2011 style pistols have a very thick frame, it's a little tough to get this out. There it comes. Next, bring forward your slide. Just keep your thumb on that recoil spring just to double check, but it should stay in place. Now this is a little different. It does have the full length guide rod. Some you push all the way through and put a tool in there to hold it. This is a little different. So make sure your barrel links push back, push or compress your recoil spring, and then lift up. Ooh, just like that. And I caught it with my thumb. You got to be real careful because that will spring out. So you just want to lift it up and just pull it right out. Full length guide rod and spring. Now this is just really more like your traditional guide rod, except that it's usually about a third this size or half. And so this gives you a full length, but yet somewhat of a traditional style. Now right under the dust cover there is a sleeve, and you can actually push it from the front like that and it'll come out. Next, take your barrel link, put it in the down position, and then we're going to pull the barrel right out of the slide. Again, we have a 3.4 inch barrel. It is a bull barrel design at the end, and then that mates up to your slide, and that's what gives it just better accuracy, the better the fit. Of course, if it's too tight, it can cause unreliability, but the tighter it is, the more accurate it's going to be. So there is a really good balance. But overall, a very small short barrel, about the size of an officer's model Colt. Nice polished feed ramp. Now here we have the slide, very nice polish. Seems like it's no tool marks or anything, just nicely finished. Then here we have the frame, and of course right here is all aluminum all the way back, and then we have the polymer that's attached to the aluminum. And you do not need to take this part off of your frame. And guys, that's all you need to do for field strip and maintenance. Reverse order, we're going to put in our barrel. Then we're going to take our little cup here. There is a small cutout in part of the flange, and we're just going to put that on the downside, actually facing upward on the slide. Now bring up your barrel link, take your recoil spring and guide rod. This is a flat recoil spring, and so this typically helps mitigate the recoil. For some reason, it's just the physics, it just allows this to be a little more springy. So we're going to go ahead and put it into the dust cover area and then just compress your recoil spring until you get it past your barrel link. There we go. So then it fits right here, and then we're going to take our barrel link and push it forward. Go ahead and put it back, put the slide back over your frame. Now you're going to want to start looking for your barrel link to appear, and then we're going to put in our slide stop. Just like that. Now go ahead and raise up your slide stop and just kind of get it placed, and then we're going to bring back our slide and we're going to match it with that first notch where the slide stop is. We want to make sure we clear the grip and come down on the low end just like this, and then push in and up just like that, and it snaps in. There's a small detent and you've got to get past that. Release it, check for function, and we're good to go. Now, keeping your firearms maintained and cleaned is vital. Otis makes some of the best cleaning equipment out there. They make a number of different kits that are dedicated for different rifles, pistols. They also have Shooter's Choice, which makes excellent CLP and bore solvent and different cleaning materials. The Ripcord is one of their signatures, and there's a whole system based around it. They are suppliers to the U.S. military. Check out Otis Technologies, highly recommended, and we want to thank Otis for being a sponsor of the channel. We get a hard case, and of course we get the handgun. It is enclosed foam padding, and we get the extra magazine, lock, and a bore brush. And of course you get your owner's manual. And again, Coast St. Arms is a resource to be able to get your EAA really just tuned up. Again, the retail price, $679. I've seen nothing even close to that. And you do get an extra magazine, which has typically not been the case with your Witness 2311. But let's talk about pros and cons. First off is you're getting a 2011 style or a double stack 1911 for under $680. And that is, to me, the lowest I've seen anywhere for any style. Even some of the Live Free Armories and different ones, the Platypus, this is getting it down to a extremely reasonable price. You got 17+1 in the magazine, gives you a lot of capacity. It has the longer grip and the short slide, but this grip really leverages your recoil and it gives it a very nice shooting experience. These are very reliable. That's a big deal. You know, a lot of times when you get budget firearms, they can be a little hit or miss. This one for me has been just super reliable. It has all the bells and whistles with the beaver tail, the Delta style hammer, the ambidextrous safeties, Novak style sights. One ding I would have to give it is there's no optics cut. Whether you're running optics or not, it's nice to have that plate, but with the way Girsan runs it, they would have to remove that back sight. To be honest, if I'm not going to run it, I like that sight. If I wanted to, I could replace the front sight with a fiber optic. It's all black. I mean, it's really blacked out, and to be honest, again, the finish on this is really well done. The molded grip, very textured, and I mean, it really fits nice in your hand. Trigger pull is fine, it's just a little heavy. And I think some of the early Girsans had a little more heavier trigger pull. I think that they're bringing it down. Now, again, guys, this is a $680 2011 style pistol. That is very reasonable. Yes, it's imported by Turkey, and that's one of the reasons why we can get some quality and yet the price is lower. But it's not quite as smooth as a lot of your 2011s. The slide to frame coming back, the trigger pull is not quite as nice, but again, you're paying about a third of the price of even some of the lower double stack 1911s. So there's give and take. It's really good, but it is a budget firearm. But for a budget firearm, it's not bad. So I'm really impressed. In fact, this one in particular, I really enjoyed shooting it, even more than the 4 1/4 inch. To me, this is one of my favorite double stack 1911s. The Bull Armory Ultralight, this is to me the ultimate. Even compared to the Staccato, it matches to me the same quality. But again, it's $1,750 retail. Which one am I going to pick? Well, if I didn't have the money to purchase this one, but I still wanted to experience the 2011, this would definitely be in the running. In fact, I really like this handgun. So it's a matter of preference and it's a matter of your budget. What do you want to spend? If you like the 2011 platform and you're not willing to pay this kind of price for it, this is a great gun and it's very reliable. And to be honest, if you really wanted to, you could spend some time to upgrade this to get those refinements. But as far as it is, out of the box right here, it's very shootable. I enjoyed it. The range day was great and it gave me good accuracy. All the controls were there. The standard 1911, it gives me a high round capacity with 2 mags. I personally think it's a great option. But let me say this, guys, if you do have a Staccato or you have even the Bull Armories and you're thinking, well, I want a budget just because it's a lot cheaper. You know, you're not going to be as happy with it, but your pocketbook will, and it's still a great gun. Guys, the 2011 style or double stack 1911s, guys, have been extremely popular and we're seeing more and more offerings. But if you've really wanted to get one, but they're just so expensive, check out Girsan. Their Witness 2311s, very reliable, have all the same features of your standard 2011 and yet just for a very affordable price. And again, a big thank you to EAA Corporation for sending the Witness 2311 9C Brat for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. And this is honestly, officers, this is all, 2311 I did a review on was the, what is this? All right. But over the past few years, we've seen, okay, I like that. I like what I'm doing, but that's just not gonna work. And this is a, I don't know what, you are such a brat that is steel frame wood. Okay. I like it.
I really enjoy this.
Okay, let's not lie to the audience.
I don't. I used to do this all the time, even though I had a little. Oh, you got that ought to be weird. Doing that freeze thing I have to do with the wind blowing. Today we're going to take a look at the EAA, or European American Armory Corporation, Brat. They're good. Not that's a long name. It's a short name for a gun, long name for a company.